Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got videos today from China Observer.
A beauty streamer was live online when suddenly her beauty filter vanished, turning her into a middle-aged woman.
Whoa! They're just turning it off while these people are streaming nowadays? Go China.
Thousands of fans in the chat went crazy. How do beauty streamers change their round faces into an oval?
It's holy crap. How many older women are age fishing men right now with these filters?
Shape and instantly look like goddesses. Some viewers shared a tutorial before the stream began. As soon as the lights and beauty filter were turned on, fans were left stunned. Getting ready to start the stream. Step 1. Turn on our main light and our face light. Next, we adjust the face shape to ensure our makeup stays in place. We'll fix our face shape and turn our round face into an oval one. Now, turn on the second light, the pink chin light. The next step is to give the stream a more high-end feel, so we turn on the light above our heads.
Do I need a light above my head?
Here's the prep for beauty streamers. First, to enhance and create the perfect face for the camera. Step 2, add a stylish makeup look. Step 3, turn on the pink chin light. Step 4, turn on the top light. And now...
This is why you really cannot believe what you see online. I mean, with AI and everything also, but filters, oh my geez. This person is an elderly, chubbier person, and it looks like a young, skinny person. Damn.
Now we're ready to go live, looking gorgeous. A viewer commented, "I strongly urge a ban on beauty filters. They all really think they look like that. You can..."
That's the problem. And that's the problem in the United States too. They really do think they look like that. They think they look like unattainable 10s because AI algorithms are constantly changing their face to look a certain way. But when you look in the mirror, you don't look like that.
You can use beauty filters, but not to deceive yourself. Someone else joked, "No wonder those streamers who push the limits aren't afraid of their relatives recognizing them. Turns out their relatives can't recognize them." Another person commented, "With beauty filters these days, even a 200-pound guy with dirty feet can look like a super pretty woman."
Damn. 200-pound guy with dirty feet. Why did you bring in the dirty feet part?
The Chinese Entertainment Industry Association recently issued a no makeup order, calling for reform in the online group stream.
Oh, damn. They're even doing a no makeup order. They're banned filters and now they're trying to put no makeup on live streams and stuff. Interesting.
Streaming industry. These beauty streamers, who once captivated many, have now seen their illusions shattered. The report sparked heated discussions online. The recently released online performance agency Operation Service Requirements clearly state that group streams must not use heavy makeup, must not induce consumer spending, and must avoid ranking comparison.
That must not induce consumer spending? That's kind of hard, no? That's like the whole point of advertising in most of these things is to induce spending.
In addition to using lighting for beauty filters, the group streaming industry also uses technology to modify the host's body shapes. One viewer shared a comparison video showing the difference before...
They can do body shapes in the live stream?
And after adjusting the beauty filters. It's obvious that after the adjustments, the streamer's legs look longer, her body proportions are more flattering, and her skin looks fairer and more radiant, like she's been transformed into a completely different person. Despite the post-production adjustments like...
That's crazy. Oh, man, you can't believe anything nowadays, even live performances. I think that's a good reason why China banned these things for live performances. If you're doing all of this live, I guess that's probably why people got so upset at China when they did the Olympics and they did the fireworks. And there was a lot more fireworks on TV than there were in real life. And people got upset at that. And I can see it now why people can get upset at it. But at least that one was just like pure entertainment. This is kind of lies.
Like longer legs and smoother skin, streamers also use exaggerated makeup at the start to cater to the viewer's aesthetic preferences. This deliberate emphasis on appearance and stage effect...
Oh, damn. So they make themselves look super weird and like crazy because in the video they look more normal because of all the filters. What the hell have we got into? So you got to put on extra makeup to look extra weird, and then the filter turns you back into normal. What?
Effects is exactly what the new regulations aim to regulate. As soon as the regulations
See, this all actually makes sense why China is actually very on it about this ban. And I think this is actually a good thing overall. Again, live streams. They say live streams. I don't know if it's going to be recorded content or not, but live streams do make sense to me why they can't use filters.
were released, it sparked intense discussions and complaints from viewers. The Chinese government's no makeup order is, on the surface, a restraint on the misuse of technology, but it's much more than just an industry issue. It's another attempt by the authorities to intervene in the way people's bodies and appearances are presented.
I can see how China's trying to control like people not having body dysmorphia because look at the United States. Most women have huge amounts of body dysmorphia, and even men now, because we're told 6 foot is not tall enough nowadays. A lot of men are now even getting surgeries to lengthen their legs. It's crazy.
By defining how things can be shown and how beautiful things can be, they are gradually reshaping the public's perception of what is considered normal, real, and acceptable.
It's so true. Now AI's vision of beauty is now women's standard of beauty because AI kind of told them this is what beautiful looks like.
So, banning excessive beauty filters isn't just an aesthetic correction, but part of a broader control over what is considered real. This is not a real effort to purify the industry. It feels more like the Chinese government's typical moral hypocrisy and selective enforcement.
Sure, probably. I'm not saying there probably isn't some of that.
For years, there have been issues in the streaming industry, like vulgar content, emotional manipulation, and the addiction of minors. The authorities have either ignored or tacitly allowed them to continue. The reason is simple.
True.
This model stimulates consumption, generates traffic, creates profit for platforms and agencies, and to some extent diverts social tensions, allowing lower-class men to numb themselves with virtual companionship and emotional illusions. One news report tells the story of a 60-year-old.
This is pretty much like the OnlyFans model for China. Instead of OnlyFans, they just have these live streamers, I guess. Yeah, people, lonely, desperate men are just gonna gravitate towards these degeneracy things.
Man who spent over 60,000 yuan in just 8 days, becoming the top spender for a female streamer.
I spent less than 20 yuan for the first time. Then after the stream, she talked to me, saying after the show she'd remove her clothes. I became the top spender, and if I didn't send her more gifts, I'd be letting her down. I'm the only top spender. No one else is. I've already spent 6,000 or 7,000.
In Zhoukou, Henan province, a 62-year-old farmer spent his entire life savings to become the top spender. After putting in 500,000 yuan, he took out a loan of 100,000 yuan to keep gifting to the female streamer.
Simps! This is why we tell you, man. Don't give women money like this. Why? They don't deserve it. They're nobodies to you. They give you nothing. You maybe had a slight conversation, maybe with them, or maybe some guy from India pretending to be them.
My dad spent 50-something thousand yuan in just 3 months. All the money he saved with my mom. She never checked his phone, never saw the phone bills. It took 50 seconds to go through the phone bill, and the balance kept dropping, 1,000, 2,000 yuan at a time. When I found out about the 50,000 yuan, it felt like
That's not 50,000, that's 500,000.
sky was falling. He told the streamer he ran out of money and couldn't send gifts anymore. Then he took out a loan for 100,000 yuan. My sisters and I felt so bad for Mom. Another lawyer shared a case where his client was scammed.
This right here is ridiculous. Holy cow, how many phones are there?
By a female streamer.
起码有3-4个来咨询我的。
At least 3 or 4 people have come to consult me, all tricked into sending gifts to female streamers. One of them lost over 800,000 yuan. One fan was contacted by a female streamer who said she wanted to date him. After establishing a romantic relationship, the man sent her over 300,000 yuan in gifts over the course of a year. But
Again, I mean, men are simps everywhere. We love women, and we think just giving them money is going to give us love, attention. And it does temporarily. Yeah, I'm sure it does sometimes, but majority of the time, again, it's just Temporary.
But they had only met 4 times and never even held hands. The woman
hell?
kept telling him that if he ever loved her, he had to prove it by sending money. He believed her, and over the
Idiots.
year, he sent her over 300,000 yuan.
If a woman ever tells you, you don't love me unless you spend money on me or give me money, run! DMC!
Later, he found out that she was dating 4 other men, and he was ranked 4th in line. Each man had to send her 100 to 200,000 yuan. These cases of spending money in
Diabolical.
streams, leading to broken families and ruined lives, are far from rare. The top spenders in these streams are
I can admit these ones are the men's fault. Stop it. Get some damn help.
addicted to the carefully packaged beauty and emotional illusions, exchanging temporary psychological satisfaction for a heavy cost, depleted savings, fractured family relationships, and even long-term psychological scars. Meanwhile, the female streamers, who view making money as their primary goal, have become the default fast money model in the streaming industry.
Makes sense.
They monetize through emotional suggestions and the illusion of relationships.
I feel like this one is probably a little bit easier than OnlyFans because they don't have to really take off much clothes or anything. They're just live streaming and chit chatting constantly with people, and then they're getting money. I guess it's still not a great thing, but
The distorted ecosystem has lacked genuine regulation for a long time. In the comment section, some viewers even revealed that the first lesson at certain streamer companies is to clearly tell the streamers not to accept gifts privately, because private transfers might lead to legal actions or lawsuits to recover the money. However, as long as the gifts go through the platform, the money gets divided between the platform and the agency, making it legally legitimate and impossible to be refunded. This blatant risk
Makes
avoidance
sense.
logic shows that the problem is not individual misconduct, but rather a system that is deliberately designed and encouraged.
yeah, the system is designed to siphon as much money from men as possible. And that's why they allow it. That's why they've allowed it for all this time. Now, like they said, yes, if they really cared about these things, they probably would have fixed it earlier, but they allowed it, and now they're only fixing parts of it because they only care about parts of it. I mean, that's the government.
When the overall economy weakens and upward mobility narrows, the illusion of making quick money through streaming becomes even more exaggerated.
Yeah, because people aren't making money. The men that you're siphoning money from now don't have money. They're making normal money or they're struggling also. How can they just fund these women?
The higher the uncertainty in reality, the more alluring the illusion of rapid success.
你们有没有发现啊？
Have you noticed that while everyone talks about the economy being bad, there's one industry, the entertainment industry, that's actually booming? You'll find that among the female streamers, there are more and more university students. You've studied hard for years, only to earn 5,000 yuan, while those who dropped out early to become streamers can make $1 million a year. You're definitely tempted. Statistics show that over 500,000 university students are now regularly streaming.
I mean, that's kind of what it is in the United States here. Most people have normal jobs, do normal things, but they also do TikTok. They also do YouTube. They post on Instagram. Everybody wants to do a little bit of this. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It makes sense because how our economy works now. If you're not online and doing stuff online, you're kind of missing out on a good chunk of opportunity.
In this booming entertainment industry is a new type of exploitation of young people. When the economy is down, jobs are hard
And it's mostly women. Again, we say young people, but it's mostly taking advantage of women. It's taking advantage of women using their bodies, and then it takes advantage of men using their monies with the young women that they're taking their bodies with. Like, it's just a big cycle of our young generations are just getting used and abused.
to find, incomes are lower, and debt is high. Most people are in a state of confusion and anxiety. In this social environment, beauty has been separated from time, discipline, and cultivation, and now is instantly generated by technology. The intrinsic logic of aesthetics has fundamentally shifted. The gold digger phenomenon is a concentrated presentation of this shift in the real world.
100%. We see it here, we see it there, we see it everywhere.
Relationships are simplified to cost-benefit calculations, and emotions are quantified into investment and return. Beauty no longer represents personal growth and long-term value. It becomes a tool for short-term exchange. Against this backdrop, some commentators have pointed out that the Chinese government's recent tightening of control is not driven by a genuine concern for integrity or moral order, but
I mean, it's China. You think it's integrity and moral order is their main goal? Probably not.
More likely as a reaction to changes in the flow of funds. Faced with the pressure of the real estate crisis and weak consumer demand, the authorities are eager to redirect idle social funds into the so-called real economy, or directly bring them under control through fines and regulations. In contrast, live streaming rewards, which represent a flow of funds from the real to the virtual, are difficult to regulate and cannot be easily transformed into a stable tax source. That
makes sense.
That's why some viewers said they're regulating so much, but in the end, it's because the money isn't going into their pockets. This profit-driven logic is not limited.
Hey, it makes sense. It makes sense. I did not think they were doing this all for the goodness of their heart and, think that it was better for the society. It ends up being pieces of that, but yeah, it's a form of control and money manipulation.
To live streaming or social platforms, it has already seeped into broader relationships and family structures. A viewer shared a video claiming that dowries have now increased tenfold compared to 10 years ago.
我都不敢相信，现在彩礼已经离谱到了这种地步。
Now the dowry has reached such an outrageous point. The other day, my mom went to a relative's wedding, and the dowry was 250,000 yuan. Another couple about to get married asked for over 300,000 yuan.
Like 300,000, I think it's about like 50, 70,000 or so around there.
That's not even including the 3 gold items. In
3
10
gold
years,
items?
The dowry amount has increased tenfold compared
You know how much gold is right now? The hell?
to my time.
上海老女剃下头来了，
Even silver, I'm like,
现在上海男的老女已经灭了。
In Shanghai, the gold digger phenomenon has collapsed. Now, men in Shanghai are immune to it. How aware are the men coming
immune
up to
to it.
matchmaking?
MGTOW.
As soon as you bring up the dowry, they stop talking. If you mention adding their name to
The ability to walk away, man. It's for every man of every race, culture, and creed in any country. The ability to walk away.
the house or car, they turn and walk away. Some men even say that now they won't even spend money on a cup of milk tea or a meal for a gold digger.
Yeah, no more bobas and backshots.
When it comes to matchmaking, they insist on splitting the bill. If the woman doesn't agree, they give up. If she subtly hints at gifts or bags after knowing each other for a few days, he'll immediately block her because he doesn't know what's waiting for him next.
Oh, he knows. He knows.
Discussions online about the skyrocketing dowries and the materialization of marriage reflect that
Yeah, see these gold bars right here? These is actual gold and silver, by the way. Like, this is how like gold was pressed for like ancient Chinese times. They actually like traded these pieces physically when, commerce was big in China in the old days before money was a thing. So each one of these things is probably like, I think like $2,000-3,000 a pop, because that's how much gold it is. This is silver, so this is probably like 500 or so a pop. It's a lot of money.
shift. On the one hand, people complain about the sharp rise in marriage costs. On the other hand, more and more men are becoming wary of a one-sided, exploitative relationship.
Yeah, we are.
This isn't a sudden moral awakening, but rather the old model failing.
2026年的基本现状就是捞女根本就搞不到钱了啊。
The reality in 2026 is that gold diggers can't get money anymore.
Damn
If
right.
you look at those girls who used to seek men's money, can they still get money now?
Hell no.
Unless they lower their standards to the extreme, only then will men be willing to spend a little money on them. So I have a lot of these
I think Chinese men have learned it faster and figured it out faster than American men. Like, American men are still quite simpy. There's still a lot of feminist men out there still fighting the good fight for women and all, but Chinese men are like, hell no, like, she better lower her standards for me to even want to like spend some money on her.
gold diggers around me, and they privately consult me, and they're all starting to panic. It's simple. They no longer have an income source, which
True.
proves that the big spenders are now few.
And this is why we say men have a lot of power. The power to walk away it's not just walking away from people mistreating you or whatever. The ability to walk away from this is a detriment to women. The ability to walk away from relationships, marriage itself. And remember, marriage and relationships kind of really benefit women a lot more than they've always benefit men overall, especially when it comes to finance.
为什么曲曲在前几年
Why was the gold digger guru so popular a few years ago?
They're still
It was
popular
during the
here,
tail
over
end
here.
of an economic boom, creating a lot of wealthy people and a lot of wealthy men. This created a batch of women who are just there to make money off them. Why is this path not working as well now? Because many men are broke. There's a phrase, men's money is for women to look at, not for them to spend.
Damn right.
These words are now better understood by men than by many women. Among the very rich single men I know, these words are something they say every day. Economic downturn does not mean the end of gold diggers.
You can look, but you cannot touch.
It just means that when the desire logic driven by technology can no longer function, the hollow values behind it begin to show. The real issue that needs reflection is not the behavior of individuals, but whether society can still provide a path of value recognition that does not rely on appearance, money, or immediate returns. The chaos in China's live streaming industry today is a direct result of moral decay. For the sake of tips, streamers shamelessly flaunt their charm, create dynamic storylines, and even engage in verbal abuse. Under the Chinese Communist Party's materialistic indoctrination, many young people believe in the saying, laugh at the poor, but don't laugh at prostitutes. As long as they
What? Laugh at the poor, but don't laugh at the prostitutes. Are we trying to say prostitutes are poor?
can become famous and make money, they are willing to sacrifice their dignity. This social deviation is a
got it.
violent desecration of traditional Chinese beauty standards. Looking back at China's 5,000 years of traditional culture, the ancient understanding of beauty was never superficial. Traditional culture believes that a person's appearance reflects their inner state. Nobility and spirituality come from self-discipline, public
True.
service, and respecting the natural order, not from filters or even makeup. Traditional culture emphasizes the beauty of harmony, focusing on authenticity. If a person's heart is filled with greed for money, no matter how much they enhance their beauty, it cannot hide the muddiness in their eyes. The gold digger phenomenon among female streamers is not just a sudden moral downfall, but is closely related to long-term economic pressures. When job opportunities shrink, income growth stagnates, and social mobility declines.
And women turn to prostitutes. Understood.
More and more young people find that achieving a decent life through conventional labor is becoming increasingly difficult.
Damn, look at them. They all look very similar right here, like how their makeup looks on them. It's not much better in other countries, men sometimes. Still very similar, but that's why you gotta vet. You just gotta vet them out. They just have a better chances. I never said China, Japan, or South Korea. Those are countries you probably want to avoid. Philippines, Cambodia, Thailand, Laos. Probably some good women in there.
Under these conditions, quick money, shortcuts, and high-return fantasies naturally become attractive options. The live streaming industry expanded rapidly in this environment. It features low entry barriers, high exposure, and immediate rewards. It seems
Yeah, it's pretty much letting people become movie stars and actresses and models in a sense without actually being models and actresses like they used to be back in the day, because it was such a closed industry. There were so few people that can get in. Now you just need a camera. You just need a camera nowadays, which is a phone, which everybody has.
like a viable survival path, especially to young women. As long as you're seen, receive gifts, and gain popularity, you can bypass the long and uncertain process of effort. In the end, the gold digger phenomenon cannot be solved by a few regulations. The real solution is not in controlling faces, filters, or appearances, but in rebuilding value judgments.
Makes sense. Yeah, you can't just fix things by banning things. You gotta reassess value and reassess the culture.
Allowing labor and self-cultivation to regain respect, restoring moderation and responsibility, and returning beauty to an inner and outer order. When people can no longer rely on illusions, the false prosperity will fade, and real life can begin anew.
Pretty much just said stop living in the Lulu land, face reality so you can start fixing reality, which makes sense, right? You can only fix what you actually realize is going on. If you don't know what's truly going on, you think the world is great, or you think whatever it is, you're just not gonna fix anything. Start fixing stuff. Please subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and catch you guys next time. Ciao.